Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the new weapons that were released last Tuesday in Infinite Warfare, being the Raijin-EMX, I think I pronounced that right, and the Atlas LMG in Infinite Warfare. And they're both pretty good actually. So the last drop before this I believe was the G-Wheel and the Stallion 44. The Stallion 44 being pretty good for hip firing, that sort of thing. Aiming down sights really work very well for it. The G-Wheel being a bit dodgy unless you've got like the legendary or epic variant of it. But these two guns are pretty good. The Atlas is a high fire rate LMG which does a good bit of damage. It says it's got the best recoil in its class, like it's got the least recoil that would lead you to believe, but it's actually got like the most from what I can tell. Luckily it's all like vertical recoil, so you know it's not that big a deal, and if you tap fire at ranges it absolutely shreds people. But I haven't used the Atlas a ton. I've been playing the World War II beta recently and I haven't had that much time to use the Atlas, but I've used the EMX a ton and I love that gun so much. It's a 3-round burst ballistic SMG. The Atlas is ballistic as well, but it's a 3-round burst ballistic SMG which fires pretty fast. It does not auto burst like the RVN, but it's a manual burst, so you actually have to pull the trigger every time you want the burst, unlike the RVN where you can just hold the trigger and it'll burst automatically. But it fires pretty quick between bursts. I was expecting it to be something like a wreck or something where it does like a 3-round burst, stops for like a split second and then starts again, but this is basically like full auto. So it's pretty ridiculous. It might get a nerf at some stage. I kind of hope it doesn't, because it does take skill to use. It's not something like the NV4K bar where you just like spray at your enemy. You do actually have to be accurate with it, so I think they might nerf it. If they nerf anything, it would be probably like the fact that 3-shot kills up close, you know, 1 burst kills or something, where they might like increase the delay between the bursts. But it's a pretty good SMG. If you haven't used it, definitely use it. As always, to get these weapons you can either use the season pass. If you have the season pass you should get the guns. There's a glitch for that though, which I'll talk about in a minute. There is the challenges you can do, which I don't know what the challenges are. I've even given up trying to find them, because last time I looked at the challenges for DLC weapons I could not find them anywhere. So, you know, if you don't have the season pass, go into your game, go into create a class, select a weapon, and it'll tell you the challenge to do. From memory they aren't too difficult, they seem to be pretty easy to do. The likes of the Auger is like get 3 kills with LMGs or like 3 different guns or something like that in 10 matches, something along those lines. So it shouldn't take too long to do. But you know, the 2 weapons are really good. You can also get them from a supply drop, which even if you get the common variants, which are pretty common because they're common, you can get them from supply drops and you get them and it unlocks the gun, so it's pretty good. But the glitch I was talking about with Season Pass is that I've seen on Reddit, I haven't had this problem thankfully, but if you have the Season Pass, for some reason it's locking some of the weapons. So some people have the AMX and the Atlas like locked for them, even though they've got the Season Pass, or some people have got like the Trencher or the Auger or something locked for them, so I don't know how to fix that. Some people restarted their game when it fixed, or maybe like reinstall the game, something like that, but I think Infinity Ward know that and they're working on a fix. But basically the 2 guns are extremely good. The epic variants I don't have. I've got the nuclear variant of the EMX, which is from the spider opening that I did earlier this week, which I'm very happy about, because if I'm going to get a nuke with any gun it's going to be with that gun, although I'm probably never going to get a nuke anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the 2 guns are very good. If you haven't used the EMX, definitely use it, because it is amazing. You do have to be really accurate with it though. It can 3-round burst up until at least like 10 meters out or something like that. It can. There's like exclusive he's done a video on it very briefly. I think the fire rates, basically I think he's done fire rates in the burst and out of the burst. That's really fast. I think it's something like 700 rounds per minute inside the burst, or 800, something like that. It shoots insanely fast, but it absolutely melts. If you're really accurate with it, you can do some serious damage with it. The Atlas, I haven't got a sight on it, and when I use it I seem to do like kind of bad with it, but it is a really good gun. I've seen gameplay of people using it, and like if you've got a sight on it, it looks absolutely beastly. So I think in order to use this gun effectively you really have to put a sight on it, because the iron sights aren't bad, but at the same time I feel like you can see the recoil better and it takes up less of your screen because it's a massive gun. But I really like what they've done with the DLC weapons recently. You know, having the 2 ballistic weapons this time, but these are probably the best guns we've had since the Trencher and the Auger. So they're very good. I really enjoy using them. The variants, I don't actually know what the variants are, but I believe the two common variants of both of them have like reduced hipfire spread, which is useless because it's an LMG and an SMG, so I don't quite know why they did that. But the nuclear variant obviously is the EMX. I don't know what the rare variant or the legendary of the Atlas is. However, the epic variants of the two of them, I think the EMX gives it a better EMP launcher. It's something like, okay, the description of the epic one says that like kills with this weapon won't show up on the enemy HUD. So you know the way if you kill someone or your teammate gets killed, it shows a skull where they died. I believe this won't happen with this epic variant. However, they worded it strangely because otherwise it would just be like the Yukai, and it's not the exact same perk. So I believe what they've done is it's not a suppressor. I believe you have to EMP an enemy and then kill them with the weapon and it won't show up or something like that. I don't know, I don't have the epic variant, but that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds kind of misleading, the description of the perk. The epic Atlas actually has it's got the smoke screen, but it actually says sight for the smoke screen. And I don't know why they focused on the launchers so much, because that's another thing with these weapons which I forgot to say. The EMX has a built-in EMP, which is actually really good. Like, the EMP is amazing. You only get one of them, obviously, because if you had more than one, it would be overpowered. But it's actually amazing. Not against enemies. Against like players, it's not that good. But against score streaks and stuff, it's amazing. It's basically like a jammer grenade, but it might be a bit stronger in terms of damage to score streaks and equipment. The Atlas shoots a smoke grenade. However, it's unique in the fact that it seems to shoot an explosive drone type projectile, which flies at the same speed as an explosive drone. However, it creates smoke and doesn't explode. So I think it keeps going for at least half of the map. Like, if you go from the very back of the main sightline on Genesis, it goes from one side of the map to the other. So it'll either keep going till it's finished, or from one side of Genesis to the other. It goes really far. The epic variant of the Atlas, like I was saying, has a built-in sight for the launcher, it would appear, and also the smoke drone creates more smoke and should move slower. So yeah, I don't know why they focused on the launchers, but it's pretty cool. I think the smoke grenade isn't that useful, but the epic one, I would imagine, if you put a Trojan sight on the Atlas and shot the smoke grenade, it would be amazing, because you could just shoot a smoke grenade, no one would be able to see you, but you'd be able to see them through smoke. So it's like a portable smoke grenade. But the two weapons are really good. I have dragged this out longer than I should have, and I kind of rambled a bit. Basically, two weapons are really good. I really recommend getting them. I would say the Auger is probably better than the Atlas, but I would say the EMX is better than, or at least it's a unique experience than any other SMG. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's better, but I would go as far as saying it's unique. So yeah, it's really good though, and you should definitely get them. That's about it. I have a video yesterday in the description, which I'll try to copy and paste for this one actually, if I remember. But it's got the timetable of all the videos I'm making when I'm uploading them. It's going to be a mixture of Diamond Weapons and World War II gameplay up until like next Sunday. And if you're interested, I don't have many subscribers, so I'm just doing this for the sake of it. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Good job. Report to command for debrief.